Okay, so I just wanted to speak really quickly on some real life examples when it comes to listening to the guidance from your angels. And lately, Archangel Michael has been the big dog who's been communicating with me. I only kind of know the essence of Azrael and MichaEL so far because those are the ones that came to me in my dream, and I had to, because it involved death and birth, and so I was like, well, it's got to be the angels of death, and because of, it's in a, I can't remember the title of the video, but it's Archangel, says Archangel Michael, Azrael, and Hepzibah, I think, on it. So, the dream that I had when they came to me, the essence of the dream was about death and rebirth, and so I looked up the angels of death, and they said Azrael, and I think Azrael is associated with Saturn, which is my ruling planet because I'm Capricorn, and then Michael was the other one because I was like shadowing them at their job. So anyway, and I'm going to be doing more research on the angels. I just started researching the different levels, okay, and this is where the 369 is coming from, okay, because there's 3 different spheres, and then there's 3 different types of angels in each sphere, and all the way down to your own personal guardian angel is at the lowest level. And there's no like better, it's a team, okay, so it's about the originators. It's kind of like the 3 branches of government. So I'm going to get into that in another video because there's a lot of information that might be pretty lengthy. So, so real life example, listening to your angels, okay? You're not going to have well, it might be feeling like someone's beating you over the head when it it comes to certain things, or jolt up out of bed, but sometimes it's quiet, okay, and it's just that little, hey, go check the mail again, or, okay, so, my garbage usually, it can come pretty early in the morning, as early as like 5:30 or something, so, I like to take it out the night before, but there's been maybe a couple times where I had to take it out in the morning, but this in this case specifically, I was like, oh yeah, tomorrow's trash day, let me get out, take out the garbage, and it was, like 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, whatever time, it was time for me to go to sleep, so I was kind of tired, and voice said, you're tired, you just take it out in the morning, the earliest they come is like 5, so you just set your alarm for 4:45. That's plenty of time to just step out the door and roll the garbage can out there, because there was nothing involved other than just rolling the garbage can out to the curb. So 5 minutes, pop out of bed, roll it out there. So I was like, okay, well, 4:45 if they come. I think 5:30 is the earliest they come, but I think they start at like 5 a.m. So I was like, well, I'll definitely make sure I won't miss the garbage. But then something told me, oh, just set it for 4:44, angel time, right? I'm like, oh, yeah, we love that. So we set the alarm for 4:44, went off in the morning, popped out of bed, went straight to the door, front door, and as soon as I opened the door, this car, which I didn't realize at first until I saw a newspaper flying out of it into my neighbor's yard. So it's from the opposite side of the street, okay, because it's driving on the right side, but it has to deliver a paper on the left side, and since it's so early in the morning, there's no traffic, there's no nothing, so they're driving, pretty quickly, and they just swerve over really quick, toss the paper. So it kind of even startled me at first, because it was like, boom, right when I opened the door, right when I stepped out the door, boom, this car was like going fast and swerved to the opposite side of the road, and then I saw, oh, okay, it was the the local newspaper And but right at that moment, there was a man on the corner right about to cross in front of my neighbor's yard where the paper just got delivered. So he got startled because it seemed like the car was almost like, excuse me, coming straight at him. Okay? Excuse me. And then he saw me, and he's on my side of the street, okay? He sees me, and he's only a couple yards from, you know, this was right next door, my neighbor right next door, so one house length away, okay? And as soon as he sees me, and then, you know, getting startled with in combination with the car, and then he sees me, and he turns around, starts walking back down the street the other way from whence he came. And then so I'm just thought that was very suspicious, and I'm standing there with my hands on my hips, just staring at him, watching him. He keeps going down the street, he keeps looking back at me, he crosses the street, keeps walking down the opposite way from which he came. Okay, very suspicious, right? And then another time, so I just thought, oh, maybe he's just like on drugs and he just got a weird thought in his head or something, but I thought it was very highly suspicious, okay? And the timing of it, and for me to take the trash out in the morning and set my alarm for 4:44. Okay, so now a few days later, a week later, I'm not sure, and this all happened like a couple weeks ago around. I don't know time anymore, but it feels like it was a couple weeks ago. So I go to check the mail. I believe it's a Saturday. I'm not sure. And there was no mail. So, you know, I'm in the house. I'm doing stuff, whatever. Within a couple hours later, I get a little nudge in my head. Go check the mail again. So I think we're waiting for something in the mail or something. And we're like, well, it should be here by Saturday. Well, anyway, it was some little mini tarot cards that they actually ran out of, and so they never charged me, and I got an email confirming blah, blah, blah. So I think that's why I was checking in the mailbox, because I thought, oh, it's small enough, because I got a little book in the mailbox before. Usually if it's a bigger package, it's on your front door. So I thought, oh, you know, I'll go check the mailbox again, because I got this nudge in my head. Just go check it again. I'm like, I just checked it and there was nothing in there. But it said, go check it again. So I just listened, okay? This is what I mean by getting in the stillness and the silence and not being distracted by all these things, because your angels are trying to give you messages, and it may seem very subtle and insignificant. Don't dismiss that shit. It's important, okay? If you get a nudge to go check the mail again, just go do it. If you get nudged to go take out the garbage at a certain time, just listen, okay? It's not going to hurt you to listen, right? It's not like they're saying, hey, go jump off a cliff. Well, that's not the angels talking to you, okay? If it's just a simple thing like, go to the store at this time. Hey, you know, go take this walk, you know, go the opposite way this time, or okay? Listen to those subtle messages. So I get the nudge to go check the mail again. I step outside. As soon as I step outside my door, and I'm kind of on a main street, you know, and I don't have a fenced yard, and it's a little Victorian home that's kind of close to the sidewalk, and you know, there's like a couple businesses around. It's kind of like a downtown area where a lot of the like old Victorian homes have been turned into businesses, but you know, there's like restaurants, little. So it's, you know, there's a couple, like me and my neighbor are regular homes, but then most of them are business fronts, as far as, you know, along this main street here. And so there's, you know, foot traffic and stuff, and so, and there, you know, there's like a little park behind us where the homeless people like to hang out. There's a lot of shade, there's a bathroom there and whatnot. No judgment, I'm just saying, okay. They're probably angelics who don't understand what they are, and they're trying to numb out and escape because this world is so change your perspective. When you think, oh, the homeless piece of shit on the street, they may be clairsentient like my brother and not be aware of it, and then they just don't understand why they can't integrate into society, because society is unnatural. So anyway, as soon as I step outside my door to go check the mail again for no apparent reason, but just listening to the guide and the voice inside my head, which was Archangel Michael, apparently, as soon as I step out my door, I see, okay, so there's this guy I have a utility box right where my stairs is, right under the porch, you know, just a couple feet from my door. And he's pulling his charger, like he was charging up his phone or something like this, okay? He's pulling that out of the outlet there. And he goes, "Oh yeah, sorry, I hope you don't mind," and this and that. And I'm like, I very much do mind. I have to pay, you know, my bills here, and I'm already, you know, getting assistance because, you know, I'm, you know, I don't get child support, this and that, and with my illness and everything, I've had to, you know, really slow it down and ask for help. So, and he's like, "Oh, I could give you a couple bucks," and this, I'm like, no. That's very rude. You don't do that. That's not the way you go about things. And I didn't curse. I just stood in my power, and I said no. And he's like, when he said, "I hope you don't mind," I said, "I very much do mind. I absolutely will not. Don't ever do that again. That was very rude." So, and it was right, I mean, how long does it take for someone to walk up, grab their little charger thing, and walk away? Like, a matter of seconds. Okay, so for me to step out, okay, do the trash thing that one night, and to step out that okay. So, come to find out, and I was really struggling, there's this anger that was coming inside me, and I'm like, is this somebody else's anger? And I'm like, angry at my landlords and neighbors. I'm like, why? I'm not angry at them. I love them. They're great. Why? What's this anger coming from? Because it was these energies that were trying to interfere. And my sister died of a meth overdose. She was shooting up dope and prostituting, and okay, so, but Sister Sag is what I call her. She was born a week before Christmas, died on her birthday. Okay, Alpha, Omega, beginning and end. So there was this trigger, okay, of these meth dealers in the neighborhood. There's this house down the street. I know where a lot of it's coming from there. I mean, there's probably many places, but this one is painfully obvious. It's so blatant. And I walk, so I see the traffic every time I walk by that house. I've seen it many times. People just in and out. They're behind me walking on the sidewalk, and they're in and out of that house and back in front of me in no time flat. And you can tell by looking at them with what they're doing, they're on drugs, okay. So come to find out, my neighbor upstairs gets told there's a store across the street, beautiful Cambodian family who own and run the place, and he went in there to get a snack or drink or whatever, and the guy tells him they've been using this house as a drug swap. And I know that last winter there was people under the stairs, okay, because once there's like this lattice, okay, and it was falling down in front of it where it usually is up, you know, propped up against the stairs. And I thought nothing of it. I thought, okay, it gets windy. That's possible that it could have just blown down. But another time, it was leaning up against the house. Okay, so wind can't do that. It'll fall down in front of it, but it's not going to be turned at a 45-degree angle and leaning up against the house. They just forgot to put it back in place or whatever. So I thought, oh, you know, God, that's horrible because it gets really cold here. It can snow and stuff. So I'm like, man, homeless person just was trying to get out of the snow or something and went under my stairs. So I tried to send compassionate energy that way. But come to find out, you know, with the energy I was feeling and the messages from Archangel Michael to go out to take the trash out at that time to catch that guy who was, you know, granted, it's still dark, okay, it's 4:45 in the morning, so it was pretty suspicious, okay, so I know exactly what he was doing. And then also with the guy charging up, it's like they thought they had some domain over this place, and I've had construction workers do that before. They're working on the sidewalk or the utility pole, and they got their truck in the driveway, and then their other truck was blocking the driveway, got their tools all laid out, they're using my hose. I'm like, excuse me, Okay, this is not a business. This is not a public business. And water is expensive here. If you live in California, you know water is not cheap. It's just, you have to claim your domain. And, the landlord doesn't want to put a fence in. I understand it's expensive. And she's like, oh, I just won't look at it. It's kind of the energy of putting the minimum effort in to try to get maximum output, but you get out what you put in. Okay, it's like you don't want to paint properly and do the sanding and the priming. Now all the paint's peeling off. I mean, it's up to them if they want to use the cheapest material, and then even though the guy's a contractor and she's a social worker, he's a contractor, but it's kind of that same mentality of putting in the minimal effort, minimal amount of money, getting the cheapest this, the cheapest that, and it's not the cheapest because then you have to redo it, and so it ends up being more expensive, and time, you can't put a value on time. So what you put in is what you get out. Okay, that's just natural and spiritual law. It is what it is. You try to get out maximum output with minimal input. It's not going to work out for you. You get out what you put in. So I've had a little bit of issues with that with them, but I'm grateful to have everything I have, but I don't have a scarcity mentality. Okay, I don't have a beggars can't be choosers mentality. No, fuck that. I'm a master manifester, so I don't care what the situation. I know you get out what you put in. So that's where some of the anger was coming from too, but I knew it wasn't responsible for all this anger. What it was a trigger, okay, because of what happened with my sister. Oh, I started raging about this plague of mess, okay, that's poisoning, especially this country, America. It's like a plague, okay, and so all these emotions came up, triggers about my sister, being angry, being sad. Okay, so, but after the news from my neighbor confirmed everything that was happening, I was like, I knew it. I knew something very disrespectful that was encroaching on my domain. I knew it was some intense energy. And that's why Archangel Michael was trying to get my attention with taking out the garbage, catching him, okay, the other guy, catching him. I mean, this is a matter of seconds, okay, the perfect divine timing. And then my landlords, kind of retreated the attitude a little bit and understood, and I told them about my sister and why that was so upsetting to me. I was like, I need to feel safe. And they kind of, it was like a little ego thing. I'm like, this is not an ego battle. This has nothing to do with that. This is about my safety, okay? Regardless of who owns the home. Nobody actually owns anything anyway. But, imagine, like, I don't know where they live, but imagine someone was using your mailbox or you're this or you're that for a drug swap. Are you kidding me? You would be pissed the fuck off, all right? I was raging. And another thing with rage, don't let it distract you, because a couple times when I was raging about something, I forgot to lock the door. And we live on a busy street. Thank God I have little dummy knobs around it so my son can't open the door. But that's happened a couple times, and then I'll put my phone in the wrong place that I usually never put it, and I'm trying to find. So when you get filled with rage, you block everything, even your rational thought. You forget to lock the door. All kinds of stuff can go wrong. And then something really big can go wrong, like your child being hurt or something. So don't let rage block you, okay? Don't get filled with rage and act out inappropriately with rage, because it's not in your best interest, okay? It compromises your safety and security, and the safety and security of people that you love and are trying to protect. So listen to those little nudges, okay? Then my landlords were very understanding, very compassionate. I even said, I'll pay for the material. I'll put the fence up myself. I changed the toilet myself when I was 8 years old. I was using a palm sander, helping my dad lay bathroom tile. Like, I can do stuff. It's just like, if you're an artist, You can do pottery. You can do anything. And a lot of people who are clairsentient, that's what it is. They're clear feeling, clear sensing. So it's kind of like they have this Midas touch. They can just pick up a tennis racket, they know how to use it. They can pick up a paintbrush, they know how to use it. And it's not like, oh, they're better. It's the clairsentience, okay? You tune into the energy of this object or this sport or this form of art or whatever it is, and you just feel how the knowing is in the feeling, okay? And you feel it all. You understand it through feeling, okay? Through sensing it. So that's why I believe my brother is clairsentient. Let's see how many. Okay, about 9 minutes. So hence why he's been on the street and on meth and drinking and everything too. He had that Midas touch too. Very good looking, athletic, basketball star, tennis star. All the cute girls wanted to be his girlfriend. All the cute boys were his best friends. He was artistic, very meticulous. He would do, like, when we were younger, he always had these beautiful felt pen sets, and he's very meticulous. Like, didn't want me to use them because I'd squish the tip and then get, the yellow. If I colored over another color with the yellow pen, then blue would get on the tip of the yellow pen. He was very meticulous. So he would draw, like, the Transformers and stuff, like very technical, detailed, defined drawings, muscle men and all that stuff. Very meticulous. So the athleticism, the art, the drawing, the music. Just, he had that radiance that attracted, he had that magnetic, clairsentient magnetism, okay? That's what I'm saying. A lot of people are clairsentient, they're not aware of it, and that's why they're doing drugs and these other things to distract and numb out, because they can't handle it. It's too intense. So, yeah, I hope I cleared that up, but, yeah, like I was saying, like, I offered to put the fence in myself and everything, because, I mean, I've switched out a toilet from beginning to end. When I was out in New Mexico, my dad was on hospice the year before I got out there, so, I mean, he's getting back to, his disease is cured, but he's still very weak from all that, and he's like, I can't help you if you want to do that, so from ordering it to taking, sorry, TMI, but from ordering it to taking the first shit in it, I did it from beginning to end, and that was one of the best moments of my life. I'm like, going to the bathroom in a toilet that no one has ever touched, ever, besides you. It was a pretty pure feeling, I must say. It was a elongated bowl, dual flush, water-saving toilet. It was beautiful. God, love it. So it's like, I could put that fence in myself. I'll buy the materials. I got the money to do it. But I was still told, like, oh no, it'll look ugly. I'm like, how's a fence gonna look ugly? It's beautiful. Even if you do the redwood with the hardware cloth, like you see a lot of that now, like at restaurants, patio areas. It's hardware cloth. It's like, metal, square looking wire, and then framed in wood, and it's beautiful. But so it's just people not wanting to put forth the money, and even if you offer to do it, they want to feel bad because they're like, oh, she's broken on welfare and was willing to put the money into this, and we have our own business and own homes, and they're not even willing to do that. So just people need to get over their shit. Money flows, let it go. So okay, we've got about 6 more minutes on here. I went a little bit over time because there were some other elements I had to pull into the story, but let me just show you this too, so when I went to the store the other day, got some little, drinks, some Arizona iced teas, and my son loves these little pecan pies, so for Saturday morning, those little mini pecan pies, I gave him a couple of those for breakfast and as a little treat and stuff. And I've never once gotten a free, I don't even know when the last time I grabbed a free, like, newspaper or whatever. And then especially from this place, I've lived here like a year, I never grabbed any free newspaper or anything. Because I just, whatever messages I need will come to me. So this was sticking out. I don't know if you can see. It says UC Davis. Okay, this is like the fall extension course catalog. And it was one just by itself on top of a stack of other newspapers. And it was kind of sticking out a little bit, so it wasn't straight. The corners were sticking out at me. And then I saw this butterfly and this rainbow, okay, this like aura kind of thing. But the colors grabbed my attention. But I saw that butterfly and I said, oh, I have to have that. So extension, okay, extending yourself, extension, that's very important. There's the butterfly, okay, the rainbow. Butterfly is transformation, and it's in this person's head, so it's transforming your thoughts, extending and expanding the way we think. And what does it say on the back? I don't know if you can see that. It says cause and effect. Okay? And right here, this little green stamp right here, it says, sometimes one small action can lead to a powerful and lasting effect. So cause and effect, you reap what you sow, you get out what you put in, karma, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing. It's the balance of the flow. So what you put in, you get out. Okay, that's karma. That's cause and effect. That's reaping what you sow. And planting those seeds of hope, of truth, of love. Sometimes one small action can lead to a powerful and lasting effect. So make sure that you're planting seeds of hope, love, unity. Okay? Plant seeds for God. Okay? Because those are the only ones that come to fruition. And what you put in is what you get out. So remember that when you're trying to get something in your life, if you're putting in the minimal effort, that's what the results are going to be. Minimal. Okay? We have to transform the way we think. Do I have enough time to, oops, sorry, a couple minutes. Okay, so let me just show you. I didn't realize when I got this Bible, and I put it in a couple recent videos. Okay, this is the little outside box that it comes in. So I didn't realize, you can see right here, in precious moments their eyes are like droplets, okay? They're the shape of like a tear or a water droplet. But see, the color of the little child here is like this beige kind of color. Same with the little lamb down here. But in its arms, it's holding a black sheep and a white sheep. Okay, and then this one down here is the unification of the two, the blend of the two, which is the color that it is, and this lamb down here. And they all have little pink heart lockets, I believe, around their neck, and this is a little pink butterfly on the staff. And that's what it's all about. It's about unity. Seeing each other as one, not seeing black and white, seeing this beige. That's what we all are. We're a blend of both. We're a blend of all of it. And it's not just black, white, African American. I'm talking in terms of the unified polarity. Okay? That's what we need to focus on. The oneness, the unity. And that's the transformation. Is changing the way we think, extending and expanding our thoughts so that they include proper communication. So internal communication, communications with others, communication between you and nature, receiving the messages from the angels, and then applying them to your life. This is all communication. And that's what karma and cause and effect is. It's a form of communication. Okay? It's the most perfect communication. Okay, because it meets you where you're willing to meet it. And I think we'll leave it at that for now. I love you all. Blessings.